Yes.
Microphone. Oh, my own microphone.
Oh.
Gotta unmute that as well.
Oh.
Hey, welcome,
Hey,
party people
whoa.
of the Wootings. Weekend is almost beginning, but of course, it ain't no weekend without a Wooting stream. Well, I mean, technically, it's not every weekend we do this, or before every weekend.
Yeah,
so.
but that's why last weekend was not a weekend. This whole
Exactly.
weekend.
It's just pain and torture until you get to this week again.
You can listen to two guys rant about keywords again.
Yes. Mumbling some random shit. Very nice.
Shit about keywords.
Any official release of Rappy Snappy? You're dropping in with the Rappy Snappy official release. Well, we're actually planning to do like a whole overhaul of Wootility as well. So I guess.
Nah, it will be released somewhere next week, like in stable.
Oh, okay.
Still within the old Wootility, yeah. And we have pretty much decided on the final name.
Well, Rappy Snappy is Rappy Snappy, you know, but SOCD, that's a different name. And we decided on a name already, and we're actually going to implement it. I guess we can just spoil it, let the people know already, I guess, because we're not going to be like a big party or whatever of this, but it's going to be, well, what do you guys think? I'm curious if the people know. They probably know it was a video. They probably know. It better be Snappy Tappy, indeed.
Snappy Tappy.
Snappy Tappy, hell yeah. So let's make it really confusing with Rappy Snappy, Snappy Tappy, Happy Tappy, Flappy Tappy. It's the naming scheme is gonna be so.
The naming scheme is all over the place.
All over the place. So that's gonna be the new name. So yeah, so once we push a new update out for the Wootility, then it will also show as Snappy Tappy, and then within next, how do you call those brackets? SOCD still, so you still know a little bit like, oh, it's SOCD, you know? Before everybody's gonna be like, what is SOCD?
Well, there it is. Yeah. It will come. I think it will come next week. We're basically working on some like stable launch things like finalizing text and the translations and those kind of things, but then everything else is pretty much done. So yeah, here we go. Snappy Tappy it is. I mean, the people
Snappy Tappy. I still love the name. Originally, when we were like saying, oh, we gotta think of a name, Snappy Tappy was also the first name I was actually thinking about and wanting to do.
Really?
It's such a good, it's honestly. It is true.
You happen to be thinking about this one as well.
No. It's true. It is true.
Your alt account, like you posted Snappy Tappy and then upvote.
Yes, exactly. That's how we do it. But before we actually released this, we already said internally, like Simon as well, like Snappy Tappy, just for the funs of it, because Razor already released Snap Tap, and we were like, oh, Snappy Tappy, you know, a little bit playful with it.
Yeah. But then SteelSeries also released. I shouldn't mark it around or whatever. But then SteelSeries also released their version of Snappy Tappy, and I think they called it Rapid Snap.
Rapid Snap? Was it Rapid Snap? I'm not sure actually what it was again.
Yeah, they call it. They call it Rapid Tap. Sorry.
Rapid Tap.
Basically, it's kind of funny because Rapid kind of feels like inspired from Rapid Trigger, but then the tap is from
Snap Tap.
Yeah, so it's like
the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds, yeah.
I realized the stream was on. 5 minutes, not too late. Oh, exactly. You're right on time. That's good. Okay, ik ga er ook eentje open.
We were a little bit later.
Gotta get the beer going. Yeah, Jeroen already cracked open one before this, and I was like, if the CTO is already getting on the Guinness, then I might as well just get the beer as well, you know? I knew all. Hey, Mark, you're the one always who advocates for drinking all day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit. I saw somebody. Do we plan to add any other keyboard layouts? I would love PT. We don't have concrete plans right now because what we usually kind of do is that we kind of see like, okay, what countries show a lot of interest, and I don't think there's like particularly much from Portugal. But also, and I also think like Portugal keycaps, from what I remember, this is a long time that we looked at it, is that usually with keycaps it's kind of nice if there's like a lot of overlap with other keycaps, and then you can maybe do some smart things to combine them or that. But then I think with Portugal, like the layout is quite different, right? But then at least like the legends are quite different.
Yeah, well, they also used, of course, in Brazil, I guess. So it's like multiple countries will utilize it. But then again, Brazil is not an easy country right now to buy our keyboards from.
Also,
yeah. But
and I guess some Portuguese don't even hate the Portuguese layout. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Brazil is different. Yeah, exactly. I also remember like Portuguese layout for Brazil is not that easy. That's what I remember. Yeah.
Oh, it is actually different from Brazil. Ah, okay. I thought it was like the same language. I was like, oh, it must be the same layout, but okay.
Yeah. Kind of wondering, like, somebody asked about India, and I don't think we have anything particularly special planned for India, but we are working more and more with resellers, and it also wouldn't surprise me if there were people from India in there. So
I guess the priority would be first to get it more affordable and up and running for India before we actually start doing also like keycaps.
But this is really about selling the keyboard, because I think this. Yeah, sorry, I kind of bridged, but then he was talking about the import duties being very high, and for that we really just need to have a good reseller in India, like a good partner to work with.
Can you make the Yogo mod? Oh, right. I'm not sure if I can actually. Oh, yeah, there we go.
You're the super
moderator. There we go. Oh, you're a moderator, Diogo. Do we ever run a US sale? Well, no. So the thing is with sales, and maybe people already seen it as well, like from the UWU. We did a sale on that. It's like, oh, why not the 60HE? The 60HE also been like over a year old, and I kind of get it. It's the same time. It's like the 60G it's going nuts again. Like we had a nice amount of stock, stable amount of stock. We're like, oh, very nice. We'll keep getting in stock for a long while, like we always think.
Mark Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Optimatech, not that we mind, but Optimatech came along with a new video, and then all of a sudden, like everything, whole SOCD. It became booming again. So then it was like shit sells out, and if you already are in back order and you've struggled to keep everything in stock, then you don't start doing discounts, of course, because it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. No, definitely not. No, and it's in general we try to avoid doing discounts, but then with like we really just wanted to kind of celebrate. Like it was more of a special thing, special event, and it also happened to coincide with COE as well, which is a very, very big OSU event. So it was just kind of like fit together as well. So like if we do something like this, it really has to also fit within a larger thing, and not just like, this weekend
sale, please buy.
Special sale. Yeah,
we want to make it a bit more whole. And
what also happens a lot is like people release something new, like a new product, and they purposefully price it much higher, and then at a later point they can like easily discount it and make it look good on Amazon or some those kind of things. That also happens a lot. And I'm not saying like we sell it at the. Of course, I also realize that our products are not the cheapest, but we do try to give it a fair price for like the features and quality it has.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of products just like my monitor now, but that's also because the competition was fierce. Like I got this nice OLED monitor, rip out me life, and I was like, it's just new. It was like, oh, I want it. There was like only 3 options you had, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna buy this, and all of a sudden now, like 1 year later, it's 1 year, half of the price now. It's like, goddamn.
Stuff like monitors that really slash the prices really fast.
Yeah. So I learned. Wait a year.
Will there be enough stock of this ADHD? It looks like it will be. Yeah, we really scaled up both. So the first batch is sold out, but the second batch I don't think it's sold out yet, and we really went big on that one.
Yeah. And it's also it's a thing we can't account for like the whole time, of course, because it's also in pre-order, and a lot of people are hesitant of buying, of course, the ADHD because it's in pre-order. You have to wait a couple of months for it to arrive, and then people are like, I can't be bothered, I'll wait till there is stock. And once there's finally stock, then all of a sudden, like everybody goes ham and goes for it. Because they don't want to wait. So it's not entirely sure like if it will last for that as well once it's getting released and actually properly available, but we'll try our best to keep it in stock, of course.
Yeah. Oh, my mom is in the chat.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, hi, Mom. I'm on camera. Nice. I saw some questions, and we talked about this before, but I do think it's good that we talk about this because like the first question was about when a keyword has an issue, it gets thrown into NG. What happens to those keywords exactly? And also as a follow-up, want to know if customers of first batch will receive a PCB with hand resold or repaired parts on their PCBs. And we've seen this question a few times, so I think it's good that we kind of talk about it. Mainly because like people might feel like, oh, so what generally happens is that these kind of things like produced, thousands of them get produced through assembly line through multiple steps, and things can just go wrong at certain steps. So that's why there's like quality control. There's so many tests that we run to just make sure like, okay, at any point in time, if there's either some functional damage or some physical damage, like a scratch or something like that, then we take it out and it is NG. That was probably also in the video.
Yeah.
And what happens then is just really dependent on the issue and the severity of the issue. So if it's like a scratch on the case, yeah, it's just a matter of replacing the case, right? But then in this case, it was about a certain part on the PCB being broken. And Carl already went into a lot of detail in the videos. I'm not going to go into the whole reason why. But one thing I do want to highlight here is that it is possible that some of these PCBs will be reworked, which means that this particular IC will get replaced with a new one. But then I just want to guarantee that these PCBs, they get reworked very professionally, and also they get tested the hell out of them. Yeah. Like these PCBs, they go through the whole testing process all over again. They go through water coating again, like everything about it will just be brand new. And also, this is also at least like really important to me, is that this is also why like we went to the factory, me, TY, and Yuli, because we really wanted to figure out this root cause. Because like what we were very afraid of is that if you repair this part, but there's actually damage to other parts, and that can become a real problem. So we also really wanted to make sure that, okay, with this particular issue, that the root cause is really in this part, and if you change it, there's nothing else. And I'm also very confident that we have done that as well. So that's why like I can imagine that there's concern there, but I just want to say like we really like went through hell and back to figure out the exact root cause of this issue, and I'm very confident that we found it. Everything's going fine now, and these repairs for these parts, they will be 100% fine. Like there's not going to be any issues with them.
Nice. Would Wooting jump into all the peripherals? Mouse would go crazy. I see it so often going by.
Yeah.
A lot of people want us to make mice. What is it that you miss in the mice market? Just at Wooting in general.
I mean, that's the critical question, right? Like, okay, what do you do with a mouse? And I do think like there are companies that do a pretty good job with mouse from different ways. And I also don't want it to be like, oh, we put analog button in a mouse and now it's Wooting mouse, you know? Like, it's just and Razer looks like a pretty good. But then it's the changeable skate system. Yeah, there's some pretty cool ideas for it. But we're actually not actively working on it because if you look at how Wooting is growing and doing and what we're good at, I just feel like for us it's just much better to just go even harder on keyboards. Like there's just so much that we still want to do, so much we're still planning for keyboards. So it's mouse. It just feels like it could be cool if we just have like, oh, we just take a mouse and then we just slap Wooting on it and it will probably sell, but that's not what we want to do. We just want to make very good stuff and we don't really have that setup for making mice.
Where knob? I can point towards him.
What knob? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Knob head.
Next question. No, but then somebody asks, what would Hall effect even do on a mouse? Exactly. That's the question I gotta ask yourself, right? It's not just about slamming technology on a mouse. It's more about like, hey, what are you gonna do with it?
Rep trigger on the mouse buttons. The range already is so minor on mouse buttons. I don't know. Hey, don't ask me. I'm just a dude who makes videos for a living.
I think like one thing I can imagine is that we'll just make there's some things about particular parts about a mouse that are just usually done pretty poorly, which is switches, scroll wheel, and cable. I mean, if you do cable, probably want to do a wireless nowadays, but then and then it's just about, I think, like finding something that could improve these things that very often kind of go wrong or break in a very good way. I can imagine it could be something like that, but again, this is me just brainstorming. Like we don't have any ideas. We're not actually working on it. So let me just say it like that. Yeah, skate option. That's also really good. Like there could also be a ton of things there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also a big part of it, which is the mouse pad as well. Like what the surface is and how that.
Mouse pad? You mean?
Oh, they're not mouse pad.
This beautiful. Yeah, it's dirty as hell, but. No, this is not my fab rag. Before the comments come in.
Yeah, next factory video.
What?
Every 2 days for all 4 parts. That's what Anders is saying.
Every 2 days for all 4 parts. Yeah. So now we have 2 videos already released. Yesterday was the second day of the factory tour, and tomorrow the 3rd part is getting released. And I'm still working on the 4th part as we speak. Well, not as now, as meanwhile the live stream. That will be quite a challenge to do multitasking on that.
Working days, or you need to release on Monday?
No, actually 2 days. So tomorrow, my girlfriend's just working anyway, so I'll be working tomorrow as well. Working overtime exactly to get them ready to be published. But I mean, if tomorrow, oh shit, that's a Sunday the release. I need to work on it tomorrow. Fuck. Oh no, tomorrow's Sunday. It's Monday. I still have Monday. But it should be fine. And also it'll be just 1 day later then. But I'll try my best to get it released on the Monday, the last part. But tomorrow is going to be the 3rd part, and it's going to be about the zinc alloy case, how it's produced and how it's being assembled. And I thought it was really interesting. So it's going to be good. Also shared a few pictures on Instagram actually. Whoa, what the fuck, Wooting actually posts on Instagram? Yeah, not often. It has been a bit left in the dark, but I try to get it maybe back up and running again. But I'm mostly busy with the video, so there's not a whole lot I can do, but I'll try to get it going again, you know? So there's a little bit of a back behind the scenes photos from the factory tour of the third day. So you can actually see that on our Instagram. And I do all the editing. Yeah, so all the videos you see on YouTube nowadays is either edited by me or also filmed and edited by me. So that's what I pretty much do. Yeah.
I also kind of want to highlight your latest short that you also posted on Instagram. That was really good. It's so good.
The summer, the sweaty game is, it's so good.
I really just hope that sometimes like these little shorts that you make just all of a sudden kind of blow up because they're just so funny.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I'm surprised about it as well because like shorts are so random how they perform. It's like sometimes it just stays for like at 5K views and like okay, it's okay, you know, 5K it's fine. And then all of a sudden you look back and it's like you get comments again on the videos like oh it gets comments again, and then you look at the video, it's like boom, it's like above 20K. It's like bruh. Okay.
Really? Yeah.
Some videos are the wrist rest video as well. That one is going ham, like 112K views. I was so surprised about that one because that's the first short I made when I joined Wooting. Yeah. Where Colin was talking about, oh yeah, wrist rest. It's kind of like an tutorial. Yeah. And I remember like Calder rambling for like 10 or 20 minutes about this whole wrist rest thing. I was like, yeah, this is not going to be a full video. Fuck that. So I edited in the short, like pressing it in 1 minute, and actually it does pretty well.
Oh, you clickbaited somebody. Somebody did a good job.
Yes, the job of the YouTuber, eh? Clickbait all the things.
But then, what do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about the factory tours? Because I personally am very excited that we were able to kind of show this off again. Because like it's something that Colin and I did all the way at the start, like all pre-COVID stuff. Oh, and I feel like now we've really been able to do it a lot more professional.
Yeah.
Really enjoy it. Okay, good. Yeah, this is really stuff that I feel like it's not. Yeah, it's just really fun to kind of show this part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I work at Wooting, but I still had no clue of the exact process everything goes to. Yeah. So I always had a certain imagination, and then you see the videos that you could send, because I see it first, of course, because I edit the videos. Like, damn, okay, so this is how it all actually goes, and it's like completely different than I thought, and it's pretty pretty cool to see, especially if from a consumer standpoint. I think if you were to buy this keyboard, you especially would be interested, like just how it's made in general. Anything that's on your desk, you're just curious for it, right? At least I would. Yeah. So then I think, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I think like especially when you kind of grow up in a country like the Netherlands, like you also have no kind of idea how these kind of things work. So you just kind of use stuff, but then you don't really see nor think much about where they actually come from. And this is, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, but it's cool to also see that people like it a lot. Also like the data center tour stuff. Yeah, that's also really good stuff. Yeah. So how many people have touched my Wooting keyboard before I get it? That's actually a good question.
Yeah, plenty of people actually. Yeah, you see the whole assembly line.
So, I mean, it depends on how you want to count. Do you want to count like every individual part, like also the case when it's produced and stuff? Because there's also different steps of the process. Because
and ICs and whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, really okay. Let's not make it too difficult. Let's just say in the assemble factory. So all the parts come in, the plastic case and the switch plate, those kind of things. I would say at that point it will probably still go through about 30 stations. I would say. Yeah, about 30 stations. Yeah, maybe even more. If I'm missing something.
Sick. Yeah. Yeah, Mark also said in the chat, we're actually going to do the same as well for the fulfillment of the ATHE order. So yes.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So we sent a message to our warehouse. That's in the Netherlands. That's where I can easily get to, and Mark as well. So yeah, we actually got the green light that we actually can visit there and record everything there as well. So once the whole production, all the boxes of the ATHE will come in, then we go to the warehouse and we're gonna actually not fulfill all the orders, but we're gonna film. Yeah, we're gonna film all the fulfillment and everything happening. So that will also be pretty interesting. Yeah.
That is this guy a fast typer, or did he just prepare his question? I think the second, otherwise it's really fast. What was I thinking? Oh, but it's really cool that we're gonna film the film. I had no idea. I think that's also just a very interesting. I've next. It's funny because I've done our fulfillment, like packing the keyboards from our early Kickstarters and stuff, and but I've never seen like the full process from an actual professional one. I think that'll be very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, as well. I think it's Mark, me, and Eric who actually will go there. And Eric said he had like a whole education about logistics stuff and whatever he did.
Always says that. Yeah.
So okay, then you're gonna be the one in front of the camera.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Wait, Sebastian did the logistics too? Oh, he's coming to our issue.
Oh, okay. I mean, if multiple people can join in, and I guess why not? If shouldn't be big of a deal, I guess.
There was a question from Samu about basically lower precision, right? When it comes to activation point of 0.04, but instead of the 0.1 that we do now, I would say like yes and no, but it's more like because of like how magnet switch works, it is an A linear curve, meaning like the change of the signal at the start of the press is less than at the end of the press, which means that at the end of the press it's actually a little bit easier to be accurate than at the start of the press. And so that also means that if we would want to show in Wootility like, hey, you can get an actual lower precision, we also want to make sure that that is across the full range. And there are ideas, and we have like worked on it, how to improve that. This is also like we had this whole improved scanning stuff that we released last month or so that has a lot of like massive improvements, specifically to more like making this more accurate, making this more stable. And I do doubt a little bit sometimes when people make these kind of promises of like these extremely small numbers. So I think like we'll probably will at some point when we can also kind of guarantee like, hey, this is actually in line with reality as well. I think that's also very important, because I also think like at the end of the day, how low do you want to go, right? Like what is actually, how much does it actually impact your gameplay? But then of course, like we're looking at this, but I would say like it's more about just making it better, making it more stable, making it more accurate meaning that if you set it to 2.1 millimeters, actually 2.1 millimeter, right? That's also, and not a 2.5 or 1.5 or something like that. I would say like we put more priority on that than to try to get that number as low as possible, because at the end of the day, that's just a number.
Fair enough. Also, question when we are planning to start mass production, and if everything goes as planned. I believe we're already busy with mass production, aren't we?
The ATG.
Yeah, right? Yeah, ATG.
Yeah,
right?
it's in full swing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and everything goes as planned, right, Jeroen?
Yes. Actually, everything is going 100% now. Like with this issue being identified and solved, like our failure rate is basically 0 now, which is really, really good. That's also what it should be, so that's nice. And I think when it comes to the, I mean, Mark already summarized it much better than we can in the batch update in Discord. So if you want to know what the exact impact is on your delivery date, then I recommend to always check out the hub or go to the batch updates in Discord and read Mark's post.
Yeah, there's a lot of people as well. Just want to say as well, always look at the hub, because I see this question often coming by as well, that a lot of people are wondering like, oh, why does he get his keyboard in October, but why does mine say in November? But that's like, it all depends on which courier you actually chosen. So some couriers actually take maybe for some parts in the world it takes like 30 days, while the other one actually takes 1 or 2 weeks, whatever, you know. You have those situations, and of course depends on where you live and where the other person lives. So if someone lives, for, let's say, the Netherlands, then he's near the warehouse, so he will get the shipment faster than someone who lives in Italy, for instance. He will get later then, of course. That's something you always have to keep in mind as well. So that's why we always say just go to the hub. That's the most accurate estimation. That's for you specifically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also especially for like these kind of shipping methods to countries far away from the Netherlands, we also take like a really worst case date in there as well. So that's also where there can be quite a significant difference. Like sometimes they might arrive faster, but then we just say, okay, it can be up to this amount of time for like up to 30 days or 24 days or something for particular shipping methods. Yeah. And we also just kind of show the worst case, because it also always feels like, okay, if it arrived earlier than the date, it always feels good. If it arrived later, it feels bad. So that's
exactly. Before we have to do another update video about what's happening. What the fuck? Exactly. Always prepare for the worst.
Oh, this is a good question, Sander, about pictures with the frost HC or video. Because you mentioned about making sound tests as well. We also.
Right. Yeah. So the thing is with the frost case, also with the raw zinc alloy, those are not pre-assembled keyboards. So right now our warehouse only has PVT samples of pre-assembled keyboards, so not loose standalone cases. So I can't have those right now, but as soon as they arrive, I will try to get them and make pictures, make videos, anything to show you how it exactly looks like and what the whole unboxing experience is as well. Because I want to do that now for every product we're also going to be releasing now, is just do an unboxing video. What you can expect out of the box when you receive your product. Yeah. So it will definitely come. It will be a bit later, but first off, let's bridge it over to the sound tests, because PVT samples will coming in. I will make sound tests. I also mentioned this in the last video, but today actually the order has been sent, and I should be getting it, I bet, early next week. And then I will start working on the ATHE sound tests for the zinc alloy case and the PCR plastic case. Those come pre-assembled, so I'll make sure to do a sound test on the stock configuration, the Gateron Jades configuration, so I'm gonna swap everything over to the Gateron Jades, and Geon Raw HE switches, and I possibly will even add more switches in there if they make a significant difference in terms of sound. So that's soon TM. I don't know still when exactly it will happen.
Those cases shipped to you, that will be really good.
Yes, that would be actually a good idea. That I mean, preferably, if possible, of course, packaged as the customer would receive it, because then I can make an unboxing of it and actually properly showcase it as well for the unboxing. But if that takes a bit longer, I'm not sure exactly what it takes, but it will be the best, and we'll see. Yeah, I'll discuss it with the rest and see what's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, like this also what Kel said, that there will be very clear spoiler alerts for the packaging, which is also what you had in your latest video, right?
Yes. Yeah. For every video, so it sucks for the people who watch the premiere. So the Factory 2 videos I always do in Premiere, so you can have a live chat and people can say like, oh, blah, you know. But the thing is, people can't skip. People can't skip the video, it's live. So those who watch the Premiere, those are like, well, fuck, it is what it is. Well, there is a warning, it's also a countdown, so if you don't want to watch it, you can just get out and watch it later on. But yeah, it does have a warning, yeah.
I bought Razer yesterday, found out Wooting today. I mean, if you bought it yesterday, you can still return it, right? Like, what's the return period?
Should be 30 days, right? Especially if you live in the EU, then you can return it within 14 days. So.
Right.
Rapid is becoming as... Oh, yeah, you see the same one. Go ahead, Mister.
It already is. It already is.
I'll just lean back and just drink the beer.
And it's in beta right now, so you can check it out. I'm pretty sure it's beta on Wootility.io. Yeah, I'll be in the Netherlands for 1 week in November. Can I schedule delivery there? That will be quite hard, because like we need to like put your order separate, and then also make sure to remember that on a very particular date to ship it to you, and then also we also cannot really guarantee that there can be something go wrong with the pickup or the packing or something. So I would not recommend it.
No. That is a bit of a risky move to make, yeah.
Yeah.
We also had one time like a pro player who was like for a tournament in Malta, and we also had to ship an order there. And I was like, oh, sure, it'll be alright. And for some reason, the shipment just was stuck somewhere for so long, and it was like, well, we tried the best, even for a long time in advance, but still, like, these things can happen. So it's, if you just 1 week somewhere, it's best to just not do it and just play safe.
Yeah. Like usually, especially in the Netherlands, because we ship from those, it's usually fine. But then again, like, stuff can happen, and it's also quite hard for us to keep track of these kind of things properly. Yeah. Just because, like, we of course try to automate as much as we can when it comes to order processing. So this, and we do have a lot of like separations in the whole system and those kind of things, and yeah, it will make it a bit too complicated, I'm afraid.
Wait, we also have actually different topics. Yeah, we also had the birthday, by the way. We also went to COE, so I'm not sure if other people also went to COE. And for those who did, let us know in the comments. Post your comment here if you actually joined COE. Yeah. And so it was actually pretty fun for Osu specifically, and we were just trading
people or something, right?
I have no clue how many actually went there. It was quite a bunch, and we did some keycap trading for the UWU, so that's like the perfect timing to actually trade the keycaps, and it was quite a lot of fun. The people being like all like, oh shit, I finally get the keycaps I want or whatever, because it's pretty hard, of course, to trade keycaps if you're not familiar with anyone in the neighborhood that actually has those keycaps. I was also surprised that people from Australia and South Korea, whatever, some actually specifically went there, but some also were there, of course, on an extended holiday, whatever, because they're already in the neighborhood. Yeah.
But these kind of events, with the host community, these guys are really hardcore. It's really cool to see. I think that also makes the UWU such a fun project. Like, it's really specific, really niche, and just
so different than the 60. All other audience.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of international people there. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's really cool. Yeah, there's actually a while ago, I don't remember how it happened, but there's actually somebody in my hometown, which is a very small village in the Netherlands, that opened up like it's a sort of
arcade?
Like a gaming/arcade shop. Yeah, exactly. And he's also from the OS community, and he sent us a message on Twitter or something sometimes that he wants to have like a keyboard to display in his shop, and I went by with the keyboard because it was so close anyway. And he also mentioned that a lot of people, because they were pretty close to the train station, and they would just come by and play some games there from all over the country.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, very cool.
And we have, see Raquel in the chat. She knows more about this, so I hope she can enlighten some more on this. So as maybe some of you might know, we reached like 100k followers, not how to say, members. Sorry, members. 100k members on Discord. And that's a shitload. And
just the fact that there's 100,000 people on Discord is actually insane. It's also
it's
the largest. I think it's even larger than our Twitter following, right?
It is larger than Twitter, yeah. Twitter is like 83k or something, but Discord's over 100,000. Where I feel like it's like,
what are you doing? Discord's only, or YouTube is only 50.
Yeah, only 50. Hey, when I started 2 years ago, it was like 3,000.
That's a big increase.
Yeah. No, but Discord is going ham, and we are doing a 100k Discord celebration. Yeah, and I'm not too familiar on what exactly is going to happen. I believe there's going to be some giveaways and some events happening, but maybe Raquel in the chat can enlighten some people on what exactly will be done.
Yeah. Giveaways, contests, events. Yeah, it's gonna be insane. But our Discord is so
Nice.
much fun. I'm also so happy that we have Raquel like to actually give it the love it deserves now.
Yes, exactly.
It's
Yeah,
really
she's
it's
doing
always
a great
hard.
job in Discord and managing
Yes,
it
for
all
sure.
and thinking of fun things to add to the server. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And Raquel,
Yeah.
when is it
When
all
is it?
happening?
When is it happening? We want the scoop. We need to
Yes,
have
see
this.
the scoop. We need
We
some
need it 1
dates.
week per stream.
Next
What?
week?
Week?
Yeah.
What? Are you ready? Are you typing already?
I think Raquel is doing overtime together with me, I guess.
Oh, you guys can play together tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you're on Discord, I mean, I bet there's gonna be a million posts about it. So go check it out.
Yeah. Is there also something that the people need to prepare for in advance? So we know it's these specific days, but do people need to prepare something?
Your best memes. Your
Best memes, the best memes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends on what she organized. So who knows?
Study your Wooting history. Okay. I mean, if you guys want to get any head start, then just ask some questions now. We can maybe go into some Wooting history.
People are gonna be like as patriotic as like the Americans are, but then for Wooting.
Yes. You better get your Wooting flag ready.
Yeah. Oh, we should do that, dude. We should make our own Wooting flag and just have everybody stick it out of their windows
One thing I do know,
trucks and whatever.
The prices we're going to have for that week are going to be unlike anything anybody has ever seen. It's going to be the craziest stuff. Like the things that Jasmine has been working on is just insane. It's so good. I hope that's still on. I haven't seen it in a while, but
I know.
Pretty sure that's still on. Yeah, that is just the craziest stuff. I mean, talking about Wooting nationalism. Let me just say that. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm being very careful with the words I pick.
Yes,
but it is kind of related to what we talked about.
It's gonna be good stuff. It's gonna be good stuff.
But it's gonna be crazy. Just want to make sure I don't do any spoilers of things that I don't want to spoil.
Atheos, we also mentioned something already in the beginning of the stream on mouses. So if you want to check in on that, what we replied, there's something in the beginning of, I have no clue where in the video of live stream, but you can look it up.
Here in the video.
Here in the description down below. No, but
one question I want to get to from Zian, when they're using SSD, I get typo using AMD key. Can you guys implement like disable SSD when on the game? I would recommend to just have a separate profile for this one.
Yes.
Where you just have like sort of a gaming profile and
typing profile. So exactly what I do as well, because sometimes I switch to my by accident, but to my SSD profile, which for some reason I put on the same LED brightness and color because I love orange.
There you go.
And it's like, what the hell is my keyboard doing? And it's like, shit, that's right. Yeah.
The color one key, like the 1 and 2 or something.
Oh yeah, the LED bar actually does change. Yeah, so that's but yeah, the 80 it does, yeah. But have a different profile. That's the best option to have. So just have your first profile to be a typing profile, your normal profile. So if you play, let's say, strategy games, depending on which ones, of course. If you play Civ, it doesn't matter your timing anyway because it's turn-based. You play Excel, you know, also a fun game. Then, of course, you just have a typing profile, and once you swap to games, you just go to the gaming profile. Yeah, with SSD.
Yeah. And I just want to say like that you also asked about whether it can be automatic. The answer is yes, soon-ish.
Oh, you mean what? Automatic? You mean if you change game, you change profile or something? Oh,
exactly. Yeah. Both that and also what Downey asked about reducing the number of profiles, that will also be part of the same update. Yes, within the next week update. Yeah.
I guess it's also going to be an update worthwhile of making a video on it again to let people know about the state of things.
This is going to be, yeah.
I guess. I mean, if it's just like a lot of new features and whatever in it, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, dev leaks. Yeah, and it's not even colder, you know.
Huh?
It's not even cold or leaking, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also say this, and I bet like Simon, I hope Simon is not in the chat because actually, how much? I mean, how much is a secret? Is any of this? I don't really think this is much of a secret, right?
Well, it's the first time it got out now, but.
Okay, well, there we go. Okay, well, I'll just talk about it. It's coming anyway. So we're basically working on a big update for the Wootility that we want to launch together with ADHD, what we call Wootility V5. And we have already shown it to a lot of people here and there, especially Bola has been doing a lot of good work there.
Mostly internal, of course.
Well,
right?
Also a lot of people from Discord.
No, actually, for Discord as well. Okay.
That's why I was not 100% sure like how public this is, but basically, yeah, right. So that's what I thought.
Oh, but details are not. Right. Okay, makes
some
sense.
Details to share from them is like it's really we wanted to coincide with the ADHD launch, and there's going to be some new functionality, and I'm not sure if this. So we are also put a lot of focus on profile management because that's something that we got a lot of feedback on from now with Wootility that is quite difficult to do, and part of like let me just say part of the profile management dream or goal is to also do less active profiles to be able to make that either less or maybe even more question mark.
What?
But then also definitely not let's say app-based. We call it app-based profile switching or game-based profile switching kind of. But I'm not 100% sure if that will be part of it during the launch already. But that is something that will be part of that Wootility at one point. Or the Wootility V5.
It's gonna be something you might be able to explain. A question here from Freestyle. His thoughts on the HM66 and other 8K boards that compete with Wooting.
Wait, sorry, say again?
The HM66 is like another board getting released on the market, and your thoughts on it, yeah.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, what are my thoughts on these? I mean, it's just cool to see that other people are making really good, like better keyboards and PCBs as well. It was going to happen, right? Like at one point we've also never really been opposed. So we've also never been too protective of the technology as well. It's just nice to see that there's more and more people coming out with this stuff. I still do think like we have a lot of things that distinguish us, but it's also kind of like nice to just have more options as well, and also for us to have more competition to kind of put a fire on their ass. So
yeah.
What are my thoughts on it? Yeah, it's cool. Like yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I should say, oh no, Wooting is the best, and nobody will ever be like, yeah. No, I just think like what we do the best still, I think, is our I think like what these keywords do better and better. Oh yeah, Equinox. It's also a really good example. Is that these people are very good and getting better at doing the hardware and the firmware. But what they very often lack is that sort of like complete end-to-end of being like, okay, you have your good hardware and firmware, but you also have very good support. You have very good communities and updates, but also very good software as well, like your configuration software. And all of these, they also say like, okay, we also have web-based app, and it's true, technically they do, but look at the UI and look at part of the elements and look at where it comes from. A lot of these, they have recolored, let's say inspired elements. Let me just say it like that. And I think like, I don't really, I see that as like, okay, this is where we are still like much stronger and much better. And I also think like with the insane amount of time we spent on the Wootility and the firmware and the whole ecosystem, let's say, I don't think that will be caught up anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I think it's more about that complete, yeah, the best service and the best software, exactly. Yeah. So that's and even though like, yeah, sorry, what you want to say something?
I think it's like also to just highlight also then something that's usually often forgotten and Calder also sometimes says in the videos lately as well, like the 4-year warranty is also like a big thing.
Yeah.
And that's something we don't praise as well. I mean, we don't show a lot on it everywhere, but we actually should. But it's also quite a big thing, you know? While other companies maybe have like 1 year or 2 years at max. None actually has like 4 years, and
Yeah, and not just that, but outside of that sort of warranty promise or timeline, we just provide really, really good, at least like in my opinion, really, really good customer service. And like even if you're outside of that warranty, very often we still ship replacement parts. You can get a replacement part for cost. Like if your switches break after 4 years, we'll sell you a few replacement switches for very cheap, like those kind of things. Well, switches maybe not the example, but a cable or a case or something. We do that all the time, just because like we want to keep supporting it. Oh, and I thought there's actually something else. What a lot, especially what you also see with these SOCD updates is companies release the update and then they only do it for their top tier keyboard lines, and that's just the lamest stuff ever, because there's absolutely no like SOCD is a very simple functionality. Like it's just any keyboard should be able to do it, and they just kind of limit it to particular product lines because one is marketing, right? It's because they want to see like, oh, this is like our top tier keyboard. It's like the epic esports gamer. This is where you only get this function. Like it's just arbitrary, right? It's just to sell. Or two is that they just cannot really support their older keyboards that well because they don't really have a good software development. And for us, like we have launched it on the data we launched the beta. It was also available on Wooting 1, which released
7 years. 2017, at least it was in the video. Yeah.
It delivered 2017, 7 years ago. On launch day, it was available on a keyboard that we launched 7 years ago. Sorry, I'm just gonna Chris, because he's quite worried about the IC parts. It will not be part of starting from batch 2 anymore.
And let's see, would you say the LED color experience is better at a full black keyboard or a full white? Well, full white is always going to be the best experience, of course, because if you really like LEDs, the RGB lights in your keyboard, I say the white zinc alloy 8HE, this thing is just... you have the meme, you know, at least it was like back ago, like a meme, like the fucking unicorn puking the rainbow stuff. It's almost like that. It's like... it's so good. It's so good. So because of course it's white, it reflects everywhere, and black of course cancels out the lights a bit more. So then of course if you want the full experience, then go for the white. Definitely, it's really good. It's mesmerizing.
It's a rainbow puking unicorn puking rainbow. That's the new name of the case.
Yes, that will. No, yeah, for the case. Then we need to make a rainbow edition.
Oh, you'll get a better mic. Yeah, I know my mic sucks. I just use the MacBook mic. I'll get at one point I'll improve my office setup and then I'll get a proper mic one day.
Jeroen already had like a very good mic, but he never got around to use it properly.
My mic is always terrible. My mic and internet connection. It's just, it doesn't matter where I go, what I do.
Yeah. Doesn't matter which mic it is, he'll sound crap anyway.
Yeah. Calder actually sent me like a Rode mic, like his old Rode when he moved to,
it was the
Taiwan.
NT7 or something, like an actual microphone of like $180, and he also got like the amp and shit with it.
Yes, very nice amp and everything. And I told him, Calder, what are you doing? There's no way I'm going to spend time on setting this up. And he's like, yeah, let's plug and play, I promise. And like, Calder, there's way too many buttons. There's no way. There's 6, yeah, it's a small. That's also true. The room acoustics on this one is terrible. There's a very big. This cabinet behind me is made of metal. That's also probably not.
You don't really have curtains or anything. It's like a lot of flat walls without anything stuck to the walls or whatever, right?
No.
It's actually okay.
No, but I'm moving to a new place soon-ish, and there I'll have like an office space, and I promise I'll at least like buy a slightly better USB microphone. I'm not gonna go full Rode, but
Oh, why is my stream disconnecting? Reconnecting again?
Huh?
My internet is dropping out. It's reconnecting. I don't know why it does that. It should be reconnected now, I believe. At least it shows something. I don't know. OBS still has like a pop-up. Oh, reconnecting, but I see like a green bar. Oh, we're back. Okay, good. I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, reconnection successful. There we go. We back now, guys.
Hey, back.
So yeah, the 60HC refresh, is it coming? What can I say? We're definitely thinking about, of course, improving the 60HC.
Focused on the 8HC right now.
Well, that of course as well, but we also, of course, always along the way we try to improve as much as we can, and we see also a lot of people asking for like 8K on a 60, and we're just looking around to see if we can make it possible, and when it exactly is, or the timeline on it, I have no clue, but we are definitely looking into it.
What would you like to see on the 60HC V2?
Yeah. Well, let us know what you like to see on the 60HC, of course, yeah.
And maybe make your dream come true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
60HC knob. Boy.
Why would... Oh, this is a good question. Why would anyone care about 8K on a keyboard? This is a very good question. There's actually two reasons. The first reason is an obvious one, and the second reason is a non-obvious one. And I would say the second reason is actually more important. So the first reason is that it's faster, right? Instead of 1 millisecond response time, you have 0.125 microseconds, so 0.1 millisecond, let's say. So that's like what you see advertised, and that's like the main reason. But I would say like the second reason is actually more important, which is that your input is more consistent because you have pollings more frequently. How the keyboard basically works is like your computer, every millisecond it sends a message to your keyboard and it's like, hey, you got any update for me? And then you either say, yeah, I have an update for you, here are my new keys, or you say no, basically. And that happens every millisecond. But let's say you press the key and you kind of get like, the 1 millisecond has already passed, and you kind of like, and then you need to wait another millisecond for the next update to happen where your computer is going to be like, hey, you have any changes for me now? So that's basically your polling rate, right? But with 8 kilohertz, that happens 8 times as fast, which means that even if the keys that you press are kind of like in between those pollings, your response is going to be a lot more consistent. And we have actually demoed this on Computex as well. We had this input speed testing machine, which is, I don't know if you guys have seen
XLAT.
Yeah, the XLAT, where it's kind of like you have a solenoid and it's bang, 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 the key down very quickly. And if you look at the graph on a 1 kilohertz keyboard, you can kind of see it kind of makes these little spikes up and down. And if you look at it on the 8 kilohertz keyboards, the spikes where it goes up and down for the input speed is much lower, which means that it's also much more consistent. And that's actually really interesting. So I'd say like that's also something that is kind of overlooked, but I think what is going to be more critical over time than just like, oh, it's faster. It's also more consistent.
Or 60G with haptic feedback. Well, you mean like a controller, but like if it's actually like something happening and your whole keyboard just vibrates on your desk.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be wild.
Only good for like an April Fool's or something. Because one time we also made this April Fool's about having a gyroscope in the keyboard.
Oh yeah, see the one, yeah. It's so good.
And then for like a long time, we still have people ask like, oh, so when is the gyroscope keyboard gonna release?
Wooting numpad, please. I don't know. I definitely see a lot more people asking for it, and I definitely think it would be cool if we would do something like that. But there's not much to say on it at the moment, really.
Yeah. And the 82 have the same about onboard memory. Yeah, it'll be the same, because like the amount of memory we have on the keyboard is just ridiculous. Like there's no way in how you ever fill that up in a lifetime of making profiles.
Shit, Simon has to update this keyboard for his whole life.
Yeah,
Alright, when will the Optimum case be on sale? As far as I know is that the Optimum case is actually in production as we speak. When exactly it arrives, I don't know, and then when exactly it will be in sale, I don't know either. But it is in production and shouldn't take, well, at least it wouldn't be taking till next year, that's for sure. So it will definitely be this year still.
I think it's fair,
But the exact dates and everything, I can't say anything on it yet. That's something for later. And definitely want to have Calder once we have specific dates and more information and more things prepared. And I definitely want to have Calder doing an update video as well on it. So once we have more info, we'll definitely share it, of course. And it's pretty much for all the things, of course, we are doing. We will always share it if we have something new that's available for the masses to know, you know.
Yeah, I will always link it on the live stream.
Yes, make sure Calder is on live stream, but he's often not anymore because he's now in Taiwan, and the time zone difference is a bit too biggy. Well, you're in Vietnam now, aren't you?
Yes, it's about 9:30.
9:30.
But when will orders be shipping out? It's very dependent on the product. So go to the hub.
Yes, Wooting hub. hub.wooting.io. And I think as well we're gonna do like the last 3 questions. And I think we can then also round it up because I feel like we made.
We covered most of it, yeah.
Always Tony dropping in the questions there quickly.
How's the kid?
How's the kid?
He's very good. He's sleeping, so doing well. He's actually going to daycare the first time this Monday, which for a parent is a very scary idea, I have to say.
The first time that the baby's out of your hands and just... Yeah.
It's gonna be... I'm very confident that he'll do well. He's a good kid and also can play independently more and more.
No, my internet dropped again for some reason.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're back again. It's so weird because my OBS is dropping. I think it's something with the service for YouTube or something instead of like my own internet because I constantly hear you talking, so it works.
Oh.
But somehow the servers of YouTube don't want to deal anything.
Optimum case. We already talked about Optimum case, right? But then, more details soon. Yeah. So like Sander said, it is in production right now. But then when it comes to exact delivery dates and stuff, we're starting to sale. I'm not sure.
Planning on making PPT ISO FR keycaps. Oh, mine's already said we're working on French. See, that's the thing. We can ask questions, but in the end, it gets answered by our moderators anyway.
What are we even doing here, Sander? We might as well just...
Yeah, we just chill, you know? We just... next time is going to be a gaming stream.
So how are you doing? How's the weather in the Netherlands? Is it?
It's actually now. It's never hot here. It's actually been the last couple of days. It's always been around 25, 26 degrees. So it's pretty chill actually. This is actually what I prefer. So we're not getting like baked full on when we go outside. And now it's in the middle of cloudiness and a bit of sun. So, but yeah, the temperature seems to be overall pretty good. And I have my air conditioning installed. So that's like, oh, thank you. Because even though it's
dude, the fact that so many houses in Netherlands don't have AC is just
barely any.
Yeah.
I remember when we just moved in this house, it was like 28 degrees outside, but my girlfriend was also not going to work yet, so she was gaming, so that computer was blasting. I was gaming, the computer was blasting. Sun was shining inside my house because the what is it? We have like those drop-down curtain thingies. I don't know how you call those that block the sunlight, so it's like shadow inside. Those didn't work. It was broke. It's like I was toasting here with like 30 degrees inside, Yeah, it was shit, but finally we're back to the airco. It's such a blessing.
It is the best stuff, and the fact that so many people in the Netherlands are opposed to AC, or they think some sort of
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because it's not that expensive,
and it's even cheaper to
life improvement.
Yeah,
it's just.
And of course, gas is expensive in the Netherlands, and most of the people still use like the gas boilers. And this saves a lot of money on your bills because electricity is way cheaper to heat on than gas.
Yeah, you can also heat on the.
Yeah, on the AC. Okay, one more question. Let's do one more, and then we can do. Yeah, I mean everybody already answered. It's.
Yeah, but everything's already answered. We don't need to.
Okay. Okay, maybe this one.
How much does it actually cost to install AC? I have no idea because
the AC
now, like, all apartments come pre-installed with AC.
So we already installed, by the same company, we already installed solar panels by them, and that was about 7,000 euros for 12 panels, including it's like micro. How you say it? Like micro omvormers. Micro-omvormers?
Transformers.
Yeah, transformers, micro transformers, and those are a bit more expensive. So then you pay like 7,000, else it would be like 4,000. But then there was like, oh, this is like a special discount. If you buy also an AC from us, it's like 1,500 bucks. So we paid 1,500 for that. So
it's not that cheap, and I thought it would be cheaper. But I think you can also get ACs pretty cheap.
Yeah, it depends on which size you get. We have a fair amount of space in this living room, and so of course, if you have a smaller space, then you get like a smaller AC, and then it was like 1,200 euros, I believe. So it all depends on the what you need. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, that's ultimate tech. I mean, we already covered that. Yeah, AC is
AC is expensive in the EU. Yeah, definitely. But then again, like the electricity bill is also expensive, so this saves on that. So in the end, it pays for itself. So that's why I did it.
It pays in comfiness.
Yes, that as well.
Everything is expensive right now. That's true.
Yeah.
If you have the US style, just like in the new New York, where they just hang the box in the window, and you have your AC.
Oh, right, they put it in the window. Right, yeah.
And it's quite effective.
Cheaper in Australia. Yeah, I think it's pretty much just cheaper anywhere.
I'm actually quite shocked that it's this much. I didn't expect it to be the 1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was almost after.
Labor cost is also just a big factor why it's always so expensive. Because the AC on its own, I believe, is like 600, 700 bucks. So it's like the rest is like just labor costs.
Yeah.
All right. When's the Ultimate case coming out? I said it before in the stream, so watch back.
The thing we asked this a few times, we don't know.
We don't know now. It's in production. When it will be exactly released, when we have more info, we will let you guys know. That's for sure.
Also, a lot of people can get a house. That's also a good question. Like, if you have a rental apartment, the only thing you can do then is those like box AC where you just need to run the tube, but then those are also not that effective.
A lot of heat coming in by doing that as well. Yeah, that's why I went for a installed one, because in the end it's a bit better. Because my mother also in the apartment has like those ones you actually put the tube outside, and she actually says like this sliding door. She put like a special. My brother made a special like thing. There's like only like a little hole in there. She could put the tube there, and it's like closed off, so there's no heat coming in. But still, then she's like, over a couple of hours, like it only drops like 1 degree. It's like, what's the point of it?
Really? Oh, that's really.
So, but she also got like a cheap one from Aldi. So I guess that's also the fault.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sometimes Aldi has very good stuff. Like if you get like some tools and stuff, they can be really good.
Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss.
In front of it. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. Well,
there's
actually quite a lot to this now.
I think we also covered it all pretty much. It's weekend time, so people, enjoy your weekends. Thank you for staying here and having a chat. It was pretty fun. And have a good weekend. And tomorrow factory tour, and we'll see you next one. Yeah. Hey, have a good weekend. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.
Bye.